up, Alta Mesa Schools? Mr. Miller here with your Monday morning announcements. Guys, what an amazing week we had last week. Minimum days for conferences. Your parents were on campus meeting with your teachers. We had book fair that was amazing. We had a couple basketball games. Just an all-around great week. But you know what, guys? I think this week could be better. We've had an update on our Literacy Month challenge. Mrs. McNeely facing some challenges there. We're going to get to that later. But first, as always, let's head over to our character reminder for this week. This week, we are going over to Mrs. Jocelyn's class for our character reminder, some book studies on some things that can remind us about our character trait for this month. Let's head over to some friends from Mrs. Jocelyn's class.
The book Wanda is a really good book because it's about someone who has a lot of issues with him, and he has people who help him out, and it's a book about kindness.
This book is about kindness, and it's about a girl a new girl comes to her class and says that she wants to be friends with her, but she does not want to be friends with her, so she's not kind to her. And then she ends up moving away before the girl can be kind to her. And then the teacher gives a lesson on how you have to be kind to everyone. And the girl feels hurt that she wasn't kind to her, but then she ends up getting to be kind to a ton of other people and making a lot of new friends.
I read a book called I Am Human. It's about how you are uniquely you in all ways, and you can never change it, but you also have to be kind to others so that they feel good about themselves.
Thank you, Miss Jocelyn's class, for that that amazing reminder on some great books that we can read for kindness, for our character trait moving forward. Okay, let's head over to the cafeteria to see what is planned for our meals for this week.
Hi guys, Miss Claudia and Miss Megan here, and we're going to go over the menu for the week. So starting on Monday, we're going to have fruit bread. For lunch, we're going to have corn dog with chips.
Tuesday is going to be egg and cheese muffin.
And for lunch will be chicken nuggets and baked beans with a special homemade bread.
Wednesday is going to be a buttermilk bar.
And for lunch will be turkey gravy with mashed potatoes and homemade dinner roll.
Thursday is going to be a pancake on a stick.
For lunch will be cheeseburgers and potato wedges.
And on Friday, we're going to have a special breakfast.
And for lunch, we will have pizza and, as usual, special treat. Have a great week.
All right, some great meals planned for this week. Thank you, Miss Claudia and Miss Megan, for that reminder in the cafeteria. All right, guys, we have some big announcements this week. First, the one that we have been waiting for a long time. Yes, masks are now officially optional in school for students and for staff. This is a huge step back to getting back to what we would like to call normalcy, or what things were like prior to the pandemic. Now, I am excited to have this be optional for students and staff here at Alta Mesa, but I do want to talk about it a little bit. And the thing that I want to say is, the state of California has said that masks are now optional for both students and staff, but recommended, which means that some folks, students or staff, might continue to wear masks beyond this point. And you know what? That is 100% okay. People can make a choice for themselves, whether a safety choice for themselves in this time, meaning they can choose to wear a mask moving forward, and we don't want to ask them, why are you wearing a mask, or you shouldn't wear a mask, or anything like that. It's completely okay for someone to choose to wear a mask moving forward and for their own safety purposes. So we encourage you guys, if you would like to wear a mask, continue to wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask right now, the state has loosened up those restrictions and you do not have to wear a mask. I want people to feel comfortable being at school, whether they wear a mask or whether they don't wear a mask. So it's very key here at Alta Mesa. We're a big family and we care about each other, and we want to make sure that all of our Alta Mesa school community feels comfortable coming to school and safe coming to school. So big celebration that we've been able to move past the mask requirement, but again, we want to welcome those who want to continue to wear masks, and we want to welcome those who choose not to wear a mask. Okay, so big day moving forward. All right, other things happening here on campus. We have permission slips that will be out tomorrow. So we are in the tail end of our 4-5 basketball season. We'll talk about our 4-5 basketball schedule here in a second, but we are about to start 4-5 softball pretty big exciting thing also for that is we are going to renew our 4-5 boys softball team. So last year we experimented with having a 4-5 boys softball team in our district, and all the schools created 4-5 boys softball teams, and this year we're bringing it back for a second year. So we will have both boys and girls softball permission slips available tomorrow on Tuesday, due back on Friday. So boys and girls softball permission slips. As far as boys and girls basketball that we have going on, we are looking at 2 games this week. These 2 games that are going to be happening are going to be on Tuesday and Thursday, and they are both home games. So Boulder Creek, we will play Boulder Creek on Tuesday at home with the boys starting at 3 and the girls at 4. And on Thursday we will be playing against Rother School, and that will be girls starting at 3, boys at 4. A couple clubs happening this week, guys. So our garden club will be happening on Tuesday at its normal time, and then we will also be have our yearbook club meeting on Tuesday and Thursday. Its normal time from 2:30 to 3:30. So pretty awesome stuff happening there. And Literacy Month is still continuing. Remember, guys, if you submit your... Wait a minute, guys. I got to talk to you for a second. I mean, before we get into these reading logs, I got to let you know that I've been having a hard time. Now, I did get a phone number from Future Self here, and Miss Akernak last week said I should call the Time Cops. So I feel with general notebooks going around that I think I need to call in for some backup. I don't think I can handle this myself. My future self is trying to figure things out in the future, but he obviously hasn't. He sent back our book fair, which our book fair was crazy off the chain great last week. Raised a lot of money for books and reading at the school, so thank you, future self. But really, we need some help, and I think this number, this Time Cops, might be who we need to call. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a shot, guys, all right? Let's see the Time Cops. Hello, Time Cops. It's Mr. Miller. We need your help.
Decoder here. Oh, General Notebooks. At it again? I'm on the case. Let me get my partner.
Comprehension Cowgirl here. Disco Decoder. Talk to me. General Notebooks? No. All right, I'm on it. Thanks.
To Cajun hideaway, drift away like Tom Sawyer, ride a raft with old Huck Finn, take a nap like Rip Van Winkle.
Here goes nothing.
All right, Mr. Miller, the Time Cops are here.
We're here.
Time Cops, thank goodness you're here.
No problem, Mr. Miller. Tell us what's going on.
We think General Notebooks is at it again. We think he is again traveling back in time and working to unteach our teachers how to read. We think his next targets are Mrs. Schmidt and Mr. Havlina.
I don't know, Mr. Miller. That doesn't sound right to me. We all know Mr. Evelyn has a hard time reading. I don't even think he can read.
Yeah, and Mrs. Schmidt, she's a kindergarten teacher. She knows how to read. She could never be untaught.
I understand. We think that he is somehow going to go back to the year 1993, and he is going to get Mr. Havlin and Mrs. Schmidt when they're in the 4th grade, and he is going to unteach them how to read when they're in the 4th grade. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to stop them. What should we do? What can we do?
Well, Mr. Miller, I mean, we must go back to 1993 when they were 4th grade. We have to be able to save Mr. Havlina and Mrs. Schmidt.
That's a good idea, but here's what I need from you, Mr. Miller. I'm having a hard time getting a clear read on this. But if your students can read as much as they can in the present time through the space-time continuum, this will help their teachers in the past still read. Can your students do this?
Absolutely, Disco Decoder and Comprehension Cowgirl. We can have our students read, and whatever through the space-time continuum sounds a little crazy, but I think we can get this done at Alta Mesa.
All right, Mr. Miller, we're counting on you and Alta Mesa. You ready, Disco Decoder?
I'm ready if you're ready, Comprehension Cowgirl. Let's do it.
All right, guys, you heard it straight from the Time Cops, the Disco Decoder and Comprehension Cowgirl. They are on our side, which I'm really glad they're on the case. They are going to travel back and try to rescue Mr. Havlina and Mrs. Schmidt from General Notebooks. Not a good situation, but I think the Time Cops have it handled, but we have to do our part, Alta Mesa. That means that you have to read every night this week. You have to read for the amount of minutes that we need to read, and then you got to submit that reading log. Remember, if you submit a reading log, that means you're going to get a prize on Friday, and you are helping the past selves of our teachers be able to read. So a lot of great things are happening if you read this week. So remember to read, Alta Mesa. A lot's hanging on this, and you get prizes. And this week's prize is going to be pretty cool. Last week we got a treat and a stamp. This week we'll see what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be a good prize. So Alta Mesa School, let's go out there, let's read, let's have participate in all these things that are happening around campus, and let's make this the best week ever.
5 minutes later.
Wait a minute. Is this the right place?
This is definitely 1993. Where's Screech and Slater at?